Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Jennifer Rose. We're continuing on our series of questions and answers. Questions being everyday problems, solutions being divine creative solutions, solutions being practical application of spiritual principles. So, our letter today is from our friend called Sun Seeker. And I'm just going to Oh my God, it's the funny pages. Yeah, life is like the funny pages. So I'm going to read the letter and then we'll discuss and we'll talk. The reason I do like this letter from Sunseeker is that it's classic. It's a classic issue that we all have if we have family, if we have friends, if we live in any place on this earth and there's holidays. If you're navigating the weekend, it's just really it's classic life situation, which I love. I love because really the mind, thinking mind, anxious mind, addicted mind, ego mind wants to tell us that our problem is special. Our problem is special, that we're special, that there's no way we can get out of this problem. And that closes the mind down. So the ego mind is always telling you this problem is special. There's no solution to it. Um, why even bother? Um, just have a fit, cry, and stay in this atmosphere of nothing ever works out for me, or whatever the story is that you're telling yourself. So, everyone's got issues like these. So you could even like after I read it, you could think about, yeah, maybe that kind of sounds like something that I've experienced or that I've gone through or that I'm going through because we all got it. We all got issues. We all got problems. We all have everyday problems. So let me read this issue. Let me just get into it. It's about spring break, which is coming up because I'm recording this in March, second week in March 2026. We've got the spring equinox right around the corner. Everyone's getting ready for spring break, whether you've got kids or not kids. All right, let me get into it now. My husband and I are at a full-blown spring break standoff. He wants to take our two kids skiing. He's already talking about fresh powder, early lift tickets, and how this is the perfect chance to make core memories. He grew up skiing, and it's his happy place. And I can see how excited he is. And I'm not trying to be the villain and who can cancel his joys. All right, let me just pause right there. We still have a couple more paragraphs to go. But so your husband is like, oh man, this is how I grew up. These are where my memories are. So beautiful, so pleasant. These are my childhood happy place memories. And I want to give those to my children in the present moment. I am sorry, my friend. I'm sorry. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. You'll be having your children will be having their own happy places that they will create with you, and you can't create in the present from the past. So just stopping and just like talking about that right there. Okay, so here we go. But I want to go somewhere warm, sun, sand, the kind of weather where you can sit outside with coffee and feel your shoulders drop for the first time in months. Yeah, it sounds nice. I am burnt out. Work has been relentless, the house has been nonstop, and I'm craving the simplest thing in the world, not being cold. Skiing isn't relaxing for me. It's expensive, exhausting, and I end up being the pack mule while everyone else has fun. I'm the one managing gloves, goggles, snacks, hot chocolate, sunscreen, and meltdowns, while my husband gets the best run of the day. He thinks a warm trip is boring and a waste when we could be doing something active. I think a ski trip is work with a prettier background. How do we decide without one of us feeling resentful? Signed, Sunseeker. This is a great, this is a great letter. I mean, she says it right here. She's burnt out, my darling Sunseeker. You say it right there. You're burnt out. And there's this habit in the family of you being the pack mule, of you like taking care of all the details. I have been skiing. There is a lot of gear, there is a lot of moving parts. And then you add a husband and a couple kids. And indeed, just the thought of it, unless you're really up for it and you're passionate about it and your batteries are recharged, it does sound exhausting. And for you, it sounds like it's really not what you want to do. So your desire is to participate in the family without telling your husband what to do and without him being resentful towards you for you're being the one saying, no, he can't do that, or no, we can't do that as a family. So there's this theme as we move through the letter, there's this theme of turning the attention from outside. I want to please him. I want to do what he wants to do. I don't want him to resent me. I'm protecting myself. However, I don't want to be responsible for all these children in this sport that's not appealing to me. And it sounds like a lot of work for me. So the idea is that we're turning our awareness, our attention from the outside to the inside so that you can start a conversation with your inner self. So you can start a conversation with what you really want and what's really going on with you. And then invite that divine creative solution so that there can be more peace and harmony in your life. And then how do we do that? It starts with getting quiet. You'll probably hear me say it so many times. It starts with taking a little bit of time with yourself. Maybe you just take a few deep breaths and you put your hands on your heart and you just pause and just ask yourself, what do I really need? What do I really want? And be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. And then maybe if you're willing, take this internal inquiry a little bit deeper and then ask yourself honestly, what am I afraid of? What am I afraid of? What am I afraid of? And it's this internal conversation that you're starting with yourself. There's a wise part of yourself, there's a tender part of yourself that's going to give you some feedback or an answer. And it might not be in that moment, it might be later on when you're kind of maybe you're driving, or for me, can you believe it? It's when I'm vacuuming. So when I'm vacuuming that I get these divine inspirations of how to approach the issue or how to address the issue with whoever I'm working the issue out with. So it starts with going inside and starting that conversation with yourself, the wisest part of yourself, the tenderest part of yourself, and then being open, and then being open to a divine creative solution, a solution that maybe you never thought of, a solution that it might start with just have an honest conversation with your partner. Just an honest conversation might be the first step that starts to lead to this unwinding of the anxious mind, the ego mind, that starts the unwinding so that the path, step by step, begins to lead to a solution that's more peaceful. Now, notice how I didn't say a solution where everyone's happy, because who knows what that is? Happiness kind of everyone happy is a fleeting moments, especially when you're dealing, sounds like you've got a family of four here. But this solution that's more peaceful and more, I don't want to say accommodating to you, I do want to say more honoring to your needs. So really it's about asking yourself what you need, asking yourself, what am I really afraid of? And then start to have an honest conversation with that information with your partner about what does it mean to you to go skiing? Well, you know what it means to him. He's trying to bring the past into the present and then create something. But you really can't create the past in the future for someone else. That is not the way it works. You can only create making memories in the present moment and being aware of the present moment and centered in the present moment, grounded in the present moment. But you don't have to go into all of that with him because that's what it means to him. But you can start talking with him about what it means to you. I'm burnt out. Doesn't sound like it's feeding my soul. It sounds like I'm using a lot of money on something that I really don't want to do. And it sounds like, it's perpetuating this idea that you're responsible for everyone while he's off skiing. And then you can start teasing out step by step how you would like to spend your time together. Now, I am just going to throw out the idea that maybe he takes the kids. Maybe he takes the kids on his own. And then you get to have spring break all by yourself, doing exactly what you want to do, recharging your batteries, so that then when he comes back, you can be support for the family. So that's just an idea. Like, that's an idea that I would definitely consider because that's kind of my style. Like, I'm okay with being alone, or I'm okay with having a vacation by myself. However, before I take a leap like that, and I can understand how that might be a leap for you because we have these fantasies of these family vacations. Of course we do. It's perpetuated. We have these fantasies. I would I would definitely have, if that is what you choose to do, have some strategies of how you're going to spend your time. And it's okay if you get lonely. It's perfectly fine if you get lonely. It's not it's nothing to be afraid of. That might be what when you go inside and you close your eyes and you put your hands on your heart and you ask yourself, what am I afraid of to let the family go without me and be by myself? It might be I'm afraid to be alone or lonely. And that is definitely something that you can work through with some easy strategies by making some plans with your friends or making sure you're going to chat every night with your family. And being lonely or being alone is, I think, something that a lot of people are afraid of. However, as we start to increase this conversation or this communication with our inner self, our wisest self, our divine self, that fear of being lonely becomes less and less and less because you start to feel, not understand, you start to experience and feel that you are companioned, that you are never alone, that you always have divine guidance and guides and help. But that conversation is a ongoing conversation. Start to build that body of evidence through experiences, through embodied experiences, that you aren't alone. So those are my ideas. Thank you, Sunseeker, for writing that letter into the funny pages, because that's what this is all about, this life. It's like the funny pages. And my friends, as you listen to this, if you've got any questions or comments, you can put that in the comments of this video. Please do subscribe to my channel. That keeps me on the good side of the internet, and it helps me. It really does help me. Okay, my friends, until next time. Oh, you can also, as of now, email me if you have any questions and you'd like me to suss that out with practical applications of spiritual principles to help you with your problem, your everyday problem. Okay, this is Jennifer Rose, out.